It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday, and thanks for tuning in to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Time to introduce my two guests for the program. I got in studio Dr. Nancy Wall, who is Tampa Bay's only certified life coach and matchmaker and is president and founder of Tampa Bay Matchmakers. She's joined in studio with Sabrina Watson, founder of NetworkLIVEvirtually. Dr. Wall and Sabrina, welcome to the program today.
Thanks, Jamie. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks. This is awesome. Well, NetworkLIVEvirtually is a place that you can go. It's actually NetworkLIVEvirtually.com, so you can find it. But it's a place that you can go and join virtual networking groups, just exactly like you would go to any networking group locally. It's just that it's all virtual. We have virtual rooms. You're live with audio and video. You're on camera. You get the opportunity to meet people, exchange contact information with each other, as well as just like any other networking group or event. We do have a presentation with a takeaway, some kind of a business takeaway.
And this came about because you're in Crystal River, and I appreciate you driving into the studio this morning because that's quite a drive from Crystal River.
She said an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
It took me an hour and 45, yeah, but I didn't hit any traffic. So.
Still, though, to come in for the show, I greatly appreciate that. But one of the problems you had in Crystal River is just there's not a lot of networking groups up there, correct?
No, yeah, well, it is a bit of a rural area, awesome area. I mean, I love it. But when it comes to doing business, I mean, we've got a few networking groups, but it's small. You know, it's kind of a captive audience, and I found that a lot of the same people were in the groups. So,
so how do your groups work? Are these themed groups? Are these just come on during certain hours of the day and talk to 20 different people about whatever it is in business you're needing help with? How do your groups work?
Well, it's actually just like any other networking event. So if you knew you were going to a networking event that happened every Wednesday at 5, we have networking events that happen, for example, every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. And there's a particular host that hosts that Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. event. You can just go to the website, register, and get the links to join them at 10 o'clock. The links will be autoresponder emailed to you. You just click on the link when you receive it at the appropriate time for the meeting, and you just join the meeting. We can have up to 50 people live on video and audio, but we never allow that many because it becomes just unmanageable.
Is this now? You said the technology that's used, because when you were explaining the idea to me or the business, I'm thinking Google Hangouts, but you said what you use is a vastly superior product. Explain.
Yeah, it's a relatively new product. It's only been around a couple of years. It's called Zoom. And it would be similar to like Google Hangouts or Skype, except that the quality of the video is much, much better than either of those products. And you can actually see everybody that's in the room, depending on the settings that you have your particular view on. So you can get like a thumbnail view or a speaker view, or you can choose your view for the room. So you actually do get the opportunity to meet somebody live. You know, they could be anywhere. They can be in the UK, or they can be in Australia. They can be, next door. But you do get the opportunity to meet them live and face-to-face.
So how do your memberships work? People can go to a meeting for free, or do they have to then join a membership plan after that? How does a program work?
You can come to any meeting that you would like, any group that you would like, as often as you would like, for free. We do have a membership piece, and the membership piece really comes into play when you want to get into some of our replays. All of our sessions are recorded and then streamed back to the website, similarly to, your radio show. And so the membership piece comes in when you want to be able to go see some of those replays and some of the business training that took place during that replay.
Okay. Hold that point. I got networking. We got Sabrina Watson here with us as well. She's with NetworkLIVEvirtually, and this is an online place where people can network. It's not a dating site, although I wonder if people ever get into your groups looking for a date as opposed to a business assistance. Have you ever had that problem in one of your groups, Sabrina?
Jamie, we actually have not had that problem yet, but you never can tell what may happen. One of the super fun things about virtual networking is that you get to meet people all over the world. We've got participants in 8 countries now. So granted, maybe you start out going there looking for business and, trying to grow your business and maybe make some sales, but ultimately we end up developing some amazing relationships. I developed a relationship with a gal in Sydney, Australia, who happens to own a motorcycle rental business. So I am saving my miles on my Capital One card. Give them the plug there, so that I can fly down there one of these days, meet her family, and we can get on a set of motorcycles and just go check out the countryside. And I got to tell you, that's pretty fun, exciting stuff.
So what's your background to get to the company today, Network Live Virtually? I understand you had a background building websites, but tell me how the path to this company came about.
Well, my actual background was 36 years in food and beverage. And I ended up having to leave food and beverage because my mother got ill. And at the same time, my husband retired. And he and she, everybody wanted to come to Florida. So we came to Florida, and I began taking care of my mom. But I thought, I got to have something to do besides being a caregiver. And I didn't really have any background in anything internet-wise. But, you know, I had my laptop, and I flipped it open, and I thought, what can I learn to do that would be fun, I could make some income at? So I went out and got some training and started building WordPress websites. Well, now that you've got some training, you got to sell that to somebody. And so I started trying to network in my local area, and it was a real struggle. You know, like I said, not a lot of people, kind of the same people in most groups. And I thought, well, wow, this isn't going to work. I can't find anybody to sell any websites to. So I reached out to some friends on Facebook and said, hey, what do you guys think about starting a virtual networking group? And everybody said, what are you talking about? How are we going to do that? I said, I don't know how we're going to do that, but let's get together and figure it out. So we did. We got together and we figured it out. That was just a few short months ago. We now have, like I said, 7 meetings a week that anybody is welcome to join. It's free to join. And you actually do get to meet people in the meeting. You do get to exchange contact information. We have people attending in 8 countries currently.
And again, this is over at NetworkLIVEvirtually.com. A lot of people shy away from networking events because of social anxiety. Do you find that this environment, an online environment, maybe eases some of that anxiety that people get from networking in groups?
No, actually not at all.
Really?
Because of the video.
People are just nervous when the video is on.
People are
really?
afraid of video.
I would think if I'm in my house, even if the video is on me, I wouldn't be as nervous. Maybe, and I don't really have social anxiety, but I know people that do. And if you get into a social setting, that triggers that. But you're saying you see the same things within people.
You actually have the ability to turn on or off your own video also when you enter the room. So if you want to turn off your video, you can. And we do have people that will come in and turn off their video.
So what's a tip for people that have social anxiety to get them more comfortable with networking groups? And Nancy, if you can interject in this too, because that's a common problem with a lot of people. They just get so nervous in a social setting and they don't know the types of questions to ask. What advice would you give them?
I would tell them to go to Blab, which is the newest social media site, and just start hopping on some Blabs and talking to people.
Yeah, explain Blab to people. What is this more?
Wow, how do you explain Blab? Well, what Periscope is to presentation, Blab is to conversation, I guess would be the best way to explain it. And you can actually have 4 people in the hot seats, they call them, on video and on audio, just having a conversation. And an unlimited number of people can watch and participate in the chat box. But many times the Blabs people will open up those hot seats and you can just hop in. And you can just hop in and be part of the conversation. Whatever the conversation may be about, you're just limited to that 4-seat scenario, you know. So if you got a lot of people that want to get in, you kind of got to get in and get out. But if you can just hang out in there, you get the practice of being on video. You get that practice of just interacting with people you don't know. It's really some amazing practice for people.
Sabrina, when people join your Network Live Virtually groups, do they have an introductory period, or is it kind of just everybody comes in and they just all start talking about whatever's on their mind?
Well, there's a host for each scheduled group every week, and that host does facilitate the entire meeting. So there's typically a presentation, business building of some kind with a takeaway, you know, that people can implement right now. It may be on social media. It may be on automating their office systems. It could be on anything. And then after that, we go into live introductions.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Then after that, we go into live introductions and contact exchange. So we do actually get to introduce people face to face, and they all get to exchange their contact information. And depending on the time that we have left, then we kind of get to ask each other questions and, you know, learn a little bit more.
Let me take a quick break. Went long in this segment, but we're having a great discussion here. And Sabrina, so your groups right now, you have 7 different groups currently on Network Live Virtually. Tell us about this.
Our groups actually meet every week. So we have currently 3 on Tuesdays, 2 on Wednesdays, and 2 on Thursdays. And those happen every single week. So you can just log on to any of them or all of them if you'd like and meet people all over the world with live audio and video. Like we talked about, you actually get to meet somebody live and exchange contact information with them. And, of course, you want to reach out. You know, that seems to be a big connection crisis thing we got going on in 2015, 16, whatever the case may be, is people can't seem to connect, not only in relationships, but they're having trouble connecting in business. So you actually have to take the time to reach out to those people that you met in that room and have a curiosity conversation. Find out a little bit about them and what's going on.
And they're not necessarily themed events or networking groups. I mean, people can come in with whatever the problem they may be having, correct?
Right. They're not. We are not industry, seat, or location specific at this time. There's always a presenter of some kind, but the presenter is advertised on the calendar, so you know what the presentation is going to be about.
That was my question. These things are scheduled ahead of time then.
Mm-hmm.
So you know like a couple of weeks out who's going to be on.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a Facebook page for this?
We just recently started the Facebook page. The calendar's actually on the website. We haven't had a lot of time yet to get a lot of work into the Facebook page. The site is relatively young. But we're growing rapidly and expanding quickly.
And people can attend one of the meetings free of charge then, correct?
They can attend any meeting and every meeting free of charge.
All right,
forever if they would like to.
All right, so there you go. NetworkLIVEvirtually.com, an excellent resource for networking for people that are rural or maybe just people who don't like to come out of the house even. So people check out NetworkLIVEvirtually.com for that.